This is a Queensland bottle tree that I planted. I want to tell you the story of my little tree as well as talk about this species and how to grow it. Brachychiton rupestris is the scientific name for the Queensland bottle tree, which is also sometimes called the narrowleaf bottle tree. As the common name suggests, this species is native to the Australian states of Queensland and New South Wales. Besides being just interesting to know, I like to understand the native range of a species because sometimes it tells us a bit more about what it might need in cultivation. I have never been to Australia, nor am I an expert on the Australian climate or its plants, so I have done some research using Australian government resources, which I will link in the description, along with all the sources I used to research this video. This species grows in medium to heavy clay, silt, sand, and volcanic-based soils, so a wide range of soil types. And it appears to be a dominant species in almost every subtype of what is called the semi-evergreen vine thicket community, which is also called bottle tree scrub, which gives you just another sense of how prevalent this species is in this area. This species' native region does appear to get actually a fair amount of rainfall. I was quite surprised. It's around 2 to 3 times what we receive in the place that I live, which is the Oregon High Desert. This Australian region, though, has times during the year where there is much less precipitation. So, from this information about its native soils and precipitation, I can see why this species is known to tolerate a variety of moisture levels and a variety of soil types. Other things that can hint at a plant's needs are its physical characteristics. In this species, the swollen trunk is another sign of potential drought tolerance, a sign that holds up under inspection when growing this species. This swollen trunk actually stores water, making the name of bottle tree not just about the silly shape of this trunk. So, long story short, this species is tough. It tolerates drought, low to moderate moisture, and a wide range of soil types, doing best in well-drained soils. This is why this species is known to be easy to cultivate within its hardiness range, which is USDA zones 8B through 12. My tree and others I have seen seem to die back in cold snaps, especially when they are young trees, but they all seem to bounce back really well.
Oh, there's a new leader taking over from this one that died.
This species does well in full sun, even in very exposed spots like where my little tree is planted against this bright white wall. Pretty wild. My tree is planted in USDA Zone 10 in San Luis Obispo, California, USA. If you have grown the species, I would love to hear about your experience with it in the comments. I think my little tree is a testament to the toughness of this species. I planted this tree a few years ago in this street strip, and despite major neglect on my part, including moving away from the area, it seems to be doing okay. So I'm very surprised, and I can say from this experience that I think this species is truly very tough. Besides its interesting swollen trunk, Brachychiton rupestris has a few other noteworthy features. Let's discuss. First, Brachychiton rupestris has leaves that are a wide range of shapes, and the age of the tree appears to play a role in this, although I've seen a lot of variation in even older trees. I would say leaf shape is just a fun thing to observe when you see these plants out in the world. Go see the stage of leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 lobes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these ones are like 2? 6? 3? This species will generally hold its leaves through the winter, but then shed some or all of them before flowering in the spring. So it's semi-evergreen to deciduous. Speaking of flowers, while I have never seen them, this species has pink flowers in late spring or early summer, which are followed by fruits. These fruits are a hard brown follicle, and they kind of look like little canoes. It's very, very cute in my opinion. Apparently the seeds are very easy to germinate, but if you are planning to grow this species, just be careful because there are hairs within the fruit that are apparently irritating to some people. Brachychiton rupestris can be grown in landscapes, of course, but it's also recently been gaining traction as a houseplant, especially in high-end interiors. I have 2 notes for growing in these settings. The first is, don't make the mistake that I did by planting this species in a street planting strip, which, if it does eventually grow to the size that it could with that huge fat trunk, it might tear up some sidewalk and some curb, so not great. I would just recommend planting this species where it has plenty of space for that trunk to eventually get as wide as it wants. If this tree does need to be transplanted someday, apparently this species is very tolerant of transplanting even as a mature tree, which is pretty crazy. This species does make a very interesting houseplant or bonsai, and in this state it's usually obviously a young plant, and so they are much longer and skinnier than a mature bottle tree, but a lot of times they will have a nice swollen base, a swollen caudex. While this species definitely does best in highlight situations, it seems to be quite tolerant of moderate light, such as a bright indirect location indoors. In any location, it will be best to plant this species in a well-drained soil and water it deeply but infrequently. I hope to continue returning to the site of my little tree. First, of course, to see if it has survived. There's no guarantee on that, but also eventually to see how big it might become if it does survive. That is all the information I have about this species, but please leave a comment below if you have anything to add to the conversation or any further questions. I always love to hear your input. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers!